Wealth. Fame. Power. I found everything this world has to offer. Free yourselves. Take to the seas. My treasure is yours to find.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Firstly, I want to say I'm still going to be making Mortal Kombat content. That will always be first and foremost what my channel is about. So don't be afraid. It's still coming. Content's still coming. The Mortal Kombat story mode, full story mode is up on the channel now. Go take a look at it. It's amazing. Check it out. Okay. But this is just a show that I've loved for the past 3 years. And it seems like it's perfect timing that it happens to be coming out, the live adaptation, right when my channel is starting to take off. So I thought it was necessary to, kind of give my feedback and just talk about the show a little bit. So if you enjoy this content, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more. And it really does help me grow and it helps the channel as well. So if you enjoy my content, leave a like, subscribe. Anyways, episode 2 reaction will be on my channel next Friday. So subscribe if you want to see that, because more content from the One Piece live adaptation is going to be coming. All right, so I know my channel is all about Mortal Kombat content. So before I start, I should mention I am a huge One Piece fan, and it does happen to be my favorite anime of all time. So keep that in mind. I have a little bit of knowledge on the topic, okay? So I also want to mention that it's only as of recent though, okay? So I watched One Piece fully through for the first time in 2020, and I've watched it 2 more times fully through since then. And currently I'm on my 3rd watch, right? And I know thousands of episodes in, it's a little bit of a guilty pleasure. I do love One Piece. It's my show. Before that, I hadn't watched a single minute of the show since I was a kid, like watching it on Toonami at 10 a.m. in the morning. So keep in mind, I started watching this 3 years ago. It's become my favorite anime and I've been binge watching it since. And now we have the live adaptation. So I thought, Mortal Kombat content, that's my stuff, but I gotta give some feedback here. So I love this show so much because even on my 3rd time watching the show, I'm still noticing new things that I didn't pick up on my first run through. So with that in mind, I'll tell you my thoughts on the One Piece live adaptation, what I liked, what I didn't like, and if you should check it out. Okay. Also, as I go, I will give my likes and critiques in order of the flow of the episode, so it's more coherent. Okay. The live action One Piece adaptation begins with Gold Roger on the scaffold. So just like the anime intro, he's up there on the scaffold, and he's being accompanied by Vice Admiral Garp, who tells him he brought this on himself. You did the crime, you do the time, basically. So this scene in my eyes was great. The vibe is authentic One Piece, and it gives you the feeling in the live action setting. The narrator's voice is great, although I don't believe it's as good as the English version of the anime. The narrator's voice is good still, so don't get me wrong. And keep in mind, I've seen the Japanese and the English version of One Piece completely through. And the live action adaptation, the narrator's voice is great. I think it's good. But the anime version of the show, the narrator's voice was perfect. And I think Gold Roger, he looks decent. The world around him is 100% One Piece. It feels authentic. And just before Roger is put to death, he gives that infamous Will of D smile and tells everyone, go find my treasure. He gives them the Gold Roger speech. I thought it was good. But again, I think the English version of Gold Roger's voice was perfect for his character. It would have been cool if they could have found a way to maybe overlay that voice onto this character. But I'm just nitpicking at this point. Those are my thoughts on it. I think that his voice is good, but the Gold Roger voice from the anime, the English version, was perfect. You can have it. That raspy voice is perfect for a pirate. So
all right, let's get this over with. Hey, Pirate King! Tell us where you've hidden all your treasure! Is it in the Grand Line or someplace else? You found it, didn't you? The legendary treasure! The One Piece!
As the crowd sets off to go find the One Piece that he just mentioned, you get to see glimpses of all the great figures in One Piece who have yet to show their importance in the show so far. And I'm excited for what's to come. We soon see them cut to the scene with Luffy talking about who he is and what he wants to become, you know, obviously the king of the pirates. The whole time watching this scene, I'm thinking, why is he looking directly at the camera? As if he's like talking directly to us. This isn't The Office. Like, what's going on here? Then I come to realize he's talking to a news crew the entire time. So I thought that was a nice touch. Just a little bit of more world building that you really doesn't get in the anime. I don't think we see news crews for hundreds of episodes. So although I'm not impressed yet, I did kind of like that little caveat, the little throw in there. So fast forward about 10 minutes, Luffy finds himself aboard Alvida's ship, and he's talking to a young Kobe, RIP Kobe Bryant. But within the next like 25 minutes, I realized that this actor, who actually I just looked up before I started making this video, his name's Inaki Godoy. I hope I'm saying that right. He was perfect for playing Luffy. He perfectly encaptures Luffy's essence. He's kind, he's strong-willed, and blissfully ignorant, and naive at the same time, but with instincts that will get him where he needs to go. He was the perfect cast for Luffy. He was Luffy. With an accent, of course, right? But there's a scene where Luffy asks Kobe what he wants to do. Just like in the anime, he says, Kobe, you know, what do you want to do? What do you want? You've been with Alvida so long. What do you want? And Kobe says, it's stupid. It's stupid. And Luffy slaps him in the face and tells him, quit being dumb. No, you're being dumb. That's stupid. Right? It was so sincere the way that Inaki is able to give off Luffy. It's perfect in my eyes. And another reason, another scene where Luffy meets Nami for the first time at the Marine base and acts as if they were already best friends. It was signature Luffy. I'm telling you, it felt so right? I mean, he was just giving off that Luffy essence, but you know, coupled with that accent, you know. But that tells it tells me that Luffy's somebody I can trust in the show, and it's giving off that same vibe I got when I watched the anime for the first time. Either way, Inaki's energy is great, and I believe he's the perfect cast for Luffy in the live action One Piece adaptation. As the story progresses, there are tons of questions for Luffy. Like, what is he doing here? How he got his powers? And during this time, the directors used it as ammo to give us some flashbacks on Luffy's past. I thought the flow of these flashbacks were very well placed. As someone who's seen the anime fully through nearly 3 times, I can tell you the first 60 episodes of One Piece in the anime were pretty dry. Just in my opinion, it was tough. I almost gave up the first time watching it because it was just boring to me. The second time I watched it, it was better, but still slow in my opinion. The pacing of this show is a lot faster in the live action, but I don't mind it a bit because again, I found the first 60 episodes are so dry. But you should keep in mind, I know the show, I know what happens, and I know where it's going. So I'm, you know, more forgiving of the fast pace. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the pacing, especially if you're someone who's never seen the show before. Do you think they're throwing too much at you too fast? Let me know, because that's some of the comments I saw from other people who gave their critique on the show. So let me know about that in the comments. All right, now the biggest achievement the show is able to hit for me is encapsulating my boy Roronoa Zoro and his passive but stern tough guy demeanor. You know that signature Zoro, right? Zoro's by far my favorite character in all of One Piece. You know, nothing happened, if you know what I'm saying. But anyways, Zoro is the standout of the show. When he's about to leave the courtyard of the Marine base and leave Luffy and Nami to fight, but turns around and shows off his 3-sword style for the first time, I couldn't help but to grin, man. I was sitting there just smiling hard. As much as I love how they captured Luffy's essence, Zoro was the standout in my eyes. This is probably due to the fact that they did capture the qualities perfectly of Luffy's fighting style. You know, seeing Zoro live action, you know, putting his headband on for the first time and showing that 3-sword style, I mean, it gave me chills. That was one thing missing from Luffy, his signature, like, unique fighting style. You know, admittedly, that's very hard to do for a rubber man in a live action adaptation. So I'm cutting them some slack there. You know, we've had sword fighting movies for a century, so there's been quite a lot of time to perfect the craft. But with that being said, Zoro was clearly the standout, and probably to anyone who is watching the show, especially if they've never seen One Piece before, let me know in the comments who you guys really enjoyed the most. But in my eyes, Zoro in the anime, in the show, he's that standout guy, and he's still my favorite character. Nothing's changed. As much as I could talk about Zoro all day, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next character that we get to see out of the main trio, and that is Cat Burglar Nami. She's done well in my eyes, right? She wasn't a standout like Zoro, but I think she's done well. We don't see much of her personality, as I'm sure we will in the coming episodes, but she's quite obviously shown as in plan of something, right? With a sharp hatred of pirates. So the directors are setting us up for a pretty nice showing, I think, of what's to come, and where I would want the show to be headed. I think they're setting it up pretty nicely. So I think I'm excited to see where this goes, and I think Nami was pretty solid, right? Nothing too crazy, not too impressed, but she was solid. And so I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop onto the things that I didn't quite like. So there were only two, and one is pretty minor, and that is the fact that even though Zoro is my favorite character, that's my boy, they made him seem stronger than Luffy in my eyes. I don't know, something about it just made Zoro seem like he was stronger than Luffy in every single instance they were in the same scene. So I don't know what it was about that, but it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But in retrospect, now that I think about it, I kind of wondered who was stronger in the beginning episodes of One Piece when I watched it for the first time as an anime. It actually probably wasn't obvious to me who was stronger until, what, Alabasta? So yeah, go ahead and scratch that one. Maybe that's for a reason, because honestly, when I first watched the anime, I couldn't tell who was stronger for about 5 arcs. So that's actually, maybe that's a good thing. So go ahead and scratch that one. But the other big thing I think they fumbled on, and this is a true steadfast opinion that I have just from watching the first episode, is I didn't like how I'm feeling about Vice Admiral Garp right now. First off, why is he here? Why are we seeing him so soon? When we get Garp for the first time in the anime and the manga, it's jaw-dropping moment. It's like, it's very suspenseful, and I think they're taking some ammo away that they had for some future episodes and some future hype. I genuinely believe that was a mistake. But either way, it's just my opinion, some guy on the internet. Let me know what you guys think. If you've seen the show, did they give Garp up too early? Are they showing too much of him too soon? Let me know in the comments what you guys feel, because I'm curious to see what you all think. And we can't end it without talking about the hype they got for episode 2. I want to touch on Captain Buggy just a little bit. The final glimpses we got to see of Captain Buggy were giving me some 2008 Heath Ledger vibes. I mean, he was looking like the Joker. I'm excited for episode 2. The beginning of the video, I mentioned how it seemed like Luffy broke the fourth wall in the beginning, but really he was just talking to that news coup. Well, Buggy definitely broke the fourth wall when he grabbed his wanted poster straight out of the animation. Either way, I loved it. It looked good. And with that Heath Ledger vibe he was giving off, I'm not surprised he was crazy enough to try it and just grab it right off the freaking animation. But I'm excited for episode 2. That reaction will be coming next week on Friday at the same time. Stay tuned. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, and share it with everyone you know. Subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Final words about the show. Episode 1 was a masterpiece. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you soon.